Not long ago, I rewatched all episodes of Skibidi Toilet, and I noticed crazy details in the last episode. And I am shocked that no one noticed this before. And in this video, you will find out, what kind of knife is this? And who is its owner? Who is really the traitor? What kind of room is this? And how many of them in the laboratory? What kind of scientists are these, and what happened to them? And we'll also talk about astro toilets and future events. The video will be incredible, so watch until the end, because if you miss any moment, then you won't understand what I'm talking about. And also tomorrow, the 25th episode of the Skibidi multiverse will be released, and my favorite Titan should appear there. So be sure to subscribe to Elite Clockwoman so as not to miss the analysis of the new episode. And also don't forget that the latest news about Skibidi Toilet and multiverse are waiting for you in my Discord. All links will be in the description under this video.
Bruh.
Hello friends, you're on the channel. Subscribe to the channel and press the like button under the video to speed up the release of the next video. And let's go. Part 2 of episode 70 turned out to be crazy and long, and Boom was able to make an episode lasting almost 4 minutes in 10 days. And this is a record for him. But it seems to me that the new episode will be just as long and there will be a lot of action. And almost 10 days have already passed since the release of the last episode. And many are saying that a new episode should be released soon, but we haven't even received the leaks yet. But not much later we'll talk about it. Now we have a lot of questions, and as always, there are no answers. But I noticed very important details in the last episode, and I'm very surprised that I and other YouTubers didn't notice it before. And let's move on to this huge knife. First of all, I thought that this knife was from episode 47, when the speakerman struck the TV man's screen. But in fact, it is light and does not have that red stripe on it. And in general, throughout the entire series, I have not seen how Titan Speakerman used this knife. But in fact, there was another guy who used the same knife, and the ordinary Speakerman had this knife at the end of the full version of episode 69. But the nuance is that knife in the bunker is large, and it is clearly intended for Titan. And this knife is small, but actually this is not important. And the point here is different. And now I will explain everything to you. First of all, I can say with confidence that the Titan Speakerman did not use this knife, and perhaps he did not even see it. But don't you think it's strange that the little Speakerman has just such a knife? And the traitor is involved in this, and he is among the agents. And this knife was made for the Speakerman Titan by cameramen or Speakerman scientists. But along with the jetpacks and headphones, the traitor gave it to the Skibidi scientist, and I am sure of this. Since we see such a knife for the first time in episode 69, and at that moment all the agents received new weapons and improvements. And I want to remind you that the agents have not yet fought with all the new improvements, and this knife along with the jetpack and headphones could not get into this bunker. And as soon as the scientist made a jetpack and a knife for the Speakerman, the traitor immediately handed them over to the Skibidi scientist. The loss of one jetpack could not have been noticed, and any cameraman could have handed it over. But the fact that a unique and large knife was missing is already very suspicious, and it is impossible not to notice. And based on this, I can say that the traitor occupies a high position among the agents, and he was able to somehow cover up the loss of this knife, which means that the traitor is very influential, and I have several suspects. And the first suspect is the Speakerman with a small version of this knife, and only this Speakerman had such a knife, and it is possible that he is the traitor. And I have already mentioned that the traitor will be the one from whom this will not be expected. And I am sure that no one will suspect no-name Speakerman of treason. And since Defuk twists the plot and everything is very confusing, any character can turn out to be a traitor. But still I suspect this little Speakerman less than others, because I don't know how he could drag such a huge knife onto this base. Of course, it is possible that some toilets flew to the agent's base at the back entrance and loaded this knife. But this is more like a movie. But in any case, there is a very small chance that it is he, since I said earlier that the traitor has the highest rank in the army of agents. And the main suspect is the TV woman. And in general, all traces lead specifically to the race of TV men, and I already suspect them a very long time ago. Literally from the moment they appeared, since they are too mysterious and it is not clear what their goal is. And I highly doubt that their goal is to save the world. At this stage, they play the role of saviors, but who knows how everything will be later. And I suspect TV Woman because she has access to the TV Men's laboratory and the Cameraman's laboratory. And here we also see books with the TV Men's logo. Of course, any TV man could turn out to be a traitor, since with the help of a teleport, they can teleport to any place. And also with the help of a teleport, they could transfer this knife to a scientist. But perhaps this is all a big deception from Defuk. And with the help of these books, he tried to divert suspicion from the real traitor. And any agent could turn out to be him and not necessarily TV men. Many say that Simp Cameraman is a traitor. I can agree with you since I said many times that we should see him. But perhaps already on the side of the toilets. But even if he turns out to be a traitor, he would not be able to get to the TV base to take these books, because he doesn't know where their base is. In any case, it's a mystery to us for now, but I feel like we're close to revealing the traitor, and I think that we will find out before episode 80, or even in the next episode, who knows. But write your versions in the comments. And let's move on to the next detail. And an important detail is that on the floor we see the inscription Storage Area 2. And I am very surprised that I did not notice this in my analysis. And based on this inscription, it means that there are other such rooms, and I am sure that we will be shocked by the fact that we will see there. And it is possible that there are 2 more such rooms, Storage Area 1 and Storage Area 0, or even more such rooms. It is not clear yet, but there will clearly be something crazy there, and it is possible that we will see new technologies from a scientist because we have already seen how the scientist crossed the toilet and the cameraman's body, and who knows what could be in another such room. But I think that we will see the same room in the next episode, and there we will get a hint who the traitor is, or we will see the traitor himself in that room. But also, when I watched all the episodes, it turns out that we have already seen almost all the scientists in this photo in the series. And in episode 16, we already saw the first scientist from the photo, and the one who shakes Dafuq's hand is Male 09, whom we saw earlier in Beatbox Universe. But it's an interesting fact that it was Male 09 who was the first largest skibidi toilet in the series, but he also appeared in episode 2 along with the first toilet Male 07, although we don't see Male 07 in this photo. And in general, I think that he was not the first skibidi toilet, but the first skibidi toilet was a scientist whom we do not see in this photo. And we were shown exactly Male 07 as the first skibidi toilet because Boom did not think that the series would continue and just added his favorite character. But since the series took off into space, in the future I think that we will see the scene of how it all began. Also on the left, there is a scientist who was also in episode 16, and we also saw in part 2 of episode 68 a crazy toilet that also looks a lot like this character. But in fact, I think it's not him. It's the scientist on the left who has hair. And his hair may have fallen out due to being turned into a skibidi toilet or from aging. Since we don't know which one now year in the series, perhaps 50 years have passed since this photo or 2 years have passed. To be honest, I don't know. But perhaps this is the same improved toilet from the beginning of episode 16. But I don't know who this guy is, and perhaps it was his skeleton that we saw in episode 69. But there is also a chance that this is the skibidi scientist himself, and now he has aged a lot and does not look like his younger self. This is very likely. But if you want to know in more detail about the scientists and Dafuq, then be sure to watch this video because there I told you about them in more detail, and I told you absolutely everything about Dafuq Boom, who he is and what his goal is. But now let's talk about what awaits us in the new episode and when we will get the leaks. Personally, I think that in the new episode there will be a lot of action, and there are 2 options for what will happen there. The first option is that we will see a battle between agents and a skibidi scientist. The second option is that we will see a battle of Gmail against the Titans, and an extra third option that there will be 2 battles at once. Or the scientist and Gmail will fight together against all the agents and Titans, because I think that the scientist has a new body, and with new technologies. I was also asked to talk about astro toilets, but in fact I don't think that we will see them in next episode. I think that maybe in episode 74 or 75 they will appear again, and I will try to make a separate video about them since I have something to talk about. But when will we get the leaks, and when will the new episode come out? I think that we will receive the leaks tomorrow or after tomorrow, and Boom will share them with one of the YouTubers. Then after another 1 day, we will receive 1 or 2 leaks on his store, and the episode itself will be released on the 7th. It is even possible that it will be released a little later since part 3 should be the most legendary at this point. But I still believe that the episode will be released on the 7th since it will be the birthday of the series, and it will turn 1 year old. And Boom also works at SFM for 15 hours a day. Although I don't have a screenshot, I've been watching him all these days. And this means that he's trying his best to release the episode on the 7th on the series' birthday. But if any leaks appears, you'll be the first to know about it in my Discord. And also a video about this will be released on my channel immediately. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss anything important. And you were on the channel, and see you.